Welcome to Impact Leaders with Magda Petroniak. My today's guest is Dinesh Musalekar, President and CEO of Lumel Companies and Global CEO of Rishabh Group of Companies. Dinesh, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Magda, and I'm really excited to be here and have a very meaningful and enjoyable conversation with you.
Great. Dinesh, I know that you've been the CEO of Lumel Companies for 10 years already, operating globally as a company from Poland, Zielona Góra. The original name of the company is Zielonogórskie Zakłady Wytwórcze Mierników Elektrycznych. Only Polish-speaking audience can understand the name.
Absolutely.
So tell us more about what Lumel Companies do.
I prefer to call it as Lumel SA, which is very easy to pronounce and know. And that's how the whole city, country, and the world knows it. So Lumel SA is a 70-year-old company. This year we celebrated 70 years of its existence, which belonged to the state. It was a government-owned company and had a very historical, magnificent history all along. And somewhere when Polish government was privatizing these companies which had some financial challenges, it happened to be one of them. So Rishabh as a group is also into electrical instrumentation business. So this was really an important business piece for Rishabh Instruments, and we were interested to take this company for its electrical part of the business. But this business had two facets to that. One is electrical business, which was stable and doing really good. And the other business was aluminum high-pressure die casting, which had some financial challenges because there was a plant built in 2008 and it got company into some financial challenges. So that's when the Polish government wanted to sell it. So we had interest in only electrical side of the business, but it was to be taken as a package because 600 employees were working in Lumel Alucast and about 200 to 250 were working in electrical side of the business. So we had to take that whole thing as a package. So at that point of time, we were not very sure whether we will want to run both the companies or just sell off aluminum die casting. I came here in 2014 as a CEO of this company, and I had a challenge to take this into financial, take it out of financial challenges that we had. And we had a plan and it worked out to cut the long story short.
Of course.
After 10 years, we are 3 times bigger than what we were.
Can you tell us about the scale of the company in numbers? How will we define the company now in numbers of employees, customers, and turnaround?
In terms of number of employees, we have had about 700, 800 employees. We currently have the same number of employees. And at the same time, we have increased our turnover by 3 times by a lot of automation and innovation and those kind of things. We are about 45 million euros turnover now, which is after 3 times. It was about 15 million when we took over the company in terms of 15 million euros. And we added a lot of customers, global customers, and we added a lot of branch offices around Europe and rest of the places. So we added new industries, new products. It's a company we are really proud of, where we are not like many of the companies in Poland which are OEM manufacturers for European big brands. But when we come to electrical side of the business, we are a company which innovate. We have R&D which is almost 70 years old, and we are investing more and more onto that. We come up with about half a dozen products every year, very innovative products in the energy segment. So we are a company which we claim as a company which provides energy efficiency solutions to the whole world, and we want to help companies to monitor, optimize, and save energy by the technology which is evolving, whether through this what you call as IIoT, Internet of Things, and using some algorithms to help companies to make decisions, help different equipments in the process to make decisions to save energy and save environment also indirectly.
Great. Thank you for describing the scope of the activities that you're performing right now. And from what I understand is that you are actually driving the energy transformation through this innovation in measurement of energy. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So who are the main customers, or who is benefiting from working with you? What sectors, if you could define it?
Yeah. See, we, as I said, our products and our solutions help us to monitor, measure, optimize energy. So, and this is what we do, and we do it where the energy is generated, where the energy is transmitted, where the energy is consumed. So, if you put all these segments together, I mean, there is hardly anything which is left which do not work with energy. So we can help every industry. When we talk about energy generation, we talk about windmills, we talk about solar, we talk about conventional energy generation, where we help to monitor the quality of energy and efficiency of transmission. And when it comes to consumption of energy, we do the same thing. So the industries that are going to be benefited out of our products and solution are obviously energy industry and where energy is consumed. So you talk about manufacturing industry, you talk about infrastructure development, where you talk about railways or building automation, data centers. So it can be virtually everywhere. So it's how you put these products together as a package and bring about the solution.
Great. We'll surely come back to it, because the energy transformation is one of the key topics, especially in Poland, that was so much dependent on fossil fuel, on coal. And I think having this discussion about how companies can transform into more green energies, be more effective from that perspective, and still providing jobs for people who are working in this industry is one of the key elements.
Yeah,
is it a part of your strategy as a company?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, people always have this fear of losing jobs and jobs being affected when the new technologies come. We have heard that when even calculators were invented, computers were invented. Now we talk about artificial intelligence and all of that. So of course, it's not going to affect so much on the job industry. It's going to change the profile of job industry. The skill sets that are needed are going to be different. So this is not going to have much of an effect. Of course, the way energy has been generated and transmitted is going through a huge change. I attended one of the conference on the new things that are happening in energy industry. So we were talking about green energy for some time now, whether it is in the form of windmills or solar, which are two big ways of generating green energy, which are currently going on. We're talking about hydrogen and other technologies also. But that was something which was being talked for some time. Now we are talking about storage. So that was that conference was all about. So where the challenge is, you generate a lot of energy during the daytime from the sunlight, but you may not be able to consume it all of it during the same time, or when you generate it in the weekends, you're not able to consume it. So you don't want to waste it. So you need to have a storage. So there's a lot of innovation happening on the storage technology to ensure that the losses are less and it can be used at the site where it is generated, or in a smaller networks where you connect all these different small storage energy storages and harness them to optimize the transmission and losses. So it's really exciting time. So a lot of things are changing in this sector.
It sounds it's a very exciting time for Lumel companies. However, and let me boldly claim that it's exciting time because you're ready. For the last 10 years, you have been modernizing the company. As you mentioned, the turnaround is 3 times bigger than when you started your operation in Poland. So can you please bring us to the beginning, to your maybe first days or weeks when you arrived to Zielona Góra, to Lumel? What was your first impression? How did you see Lumel? How did Lumel look like at the beginning of your mission in Poland?
Yeah, so it's for someone who is coming from Mumbai. On the day I came, the change was, I know what change I could feel. So when I got into the flight from a city which has got more than 25 million people, crowded, and the temperature about 35 degrees. And I land here when the temperature was minus 15. So I had about 50-60 degrees of
quite chilly welcome, isn't it?
Yeah, that was one. And I think it was around 4 p.m. I was driving from Berlin to Zielona Góra, and it was 4 o'clock and it was cloudy. So big change in temperature, and I land in a place where we had 150,000 people, a small town, Zielona Góra. Then I come, and this is on the personal side. But when I came here, we had employees who were the average age in the company was around 55. So it was pretty senior people, very talented, many of them, but the willingness to change was really not so much as it is. So to make small changes, it was a big effort. And today, 10 years down the line...
Can you please, if you allow me to stop you, because I think this is one of the processes. Many companies, many plants in Poland, many production companies with such a heritage, with such a history, are actually going through this transformation, not just business transformation, modernization, but also the cultural transformation. Can you briefly walk us through what kind of initiatives, projects did you launch at the beginning to bring people on board? You as a new leader, there's a new owner, there is probably a new strategy, and probably some kind of resistance to changing. So how did you facilitate the whole process?
Yeah, to be very honest, it starts with the trust, because you are a company which is from Asia, which has come here, and it's a very traditional old company. There's a way of doing things the way it was done for many years, and a lot of people believed that that's the way it has to be done. But what was missing was the market has changed, the expectation from customers have changed, the technology has changed. So you are in a way a bit stuck up in what you were doing. So you have to bring in a change. And change happens in the mind and in the culture first, then you do anything physically. So one of the things which I did was, I couldn't speak Polish. I couldn't understand Polish. Now also I don't speak much. I can understand a little bit. So one of the things which I wanted to do was to engage people. So I had this meeting. I called all 600 employees from one plant and another 200 employees from the other plant. I had all of them at one place, and had this meeting with the translator. I spoke to them. I mean, I had one slide to show where we are at the crossroads, and we can continue to do what we are doing, and how the company is declining and where we are going to head. And the other thing is to go and adapt the change and go in the new direction. So I kept it an open forum, and I encouraged people to ask me any questions that they have in their mind. And there were some difficult questions which were asked, and I tried to answer them very honestly. So that's where you start building trust with people. Yeah. So there were some instances where they felt that this is the company, these are the people who personally I'm here to take this company through a good time, and then I had a backup of people. So and then the things fall in place. Then we got ERP system, SAP. Then we invested 2 million euros every year to modernize the company. Then I'll give you an example to elaborate that. Just imagine a lady on our SMT line assembly who was doing with lots of papers which are in Polish and doing all of that. That was how it was done, with a lot of personal intervention. Now after we had SAP and we have this workstation, we went paperless. On the production hall, you have a computer screen where you get the production order. You have to open that, see the production order there. You have all the material coming through a Kanban to your desk. You know what has to be done. You punch in the time, and then you also open the instructions which have to be followed to do this activity. Look at the quality issues that happened on this production in the past. So all of that doing on a computer. A lady who is 55 years old, never touched a computer in her life, she does it seamlessly and absolutely. So that's the change which has happened. So today, if I have to make big changes, the efforts needed are so small. And I remember 10 years ago, to make small changes, the efforts needed were so big. I would say that's a big thing that has happened. I think it's more to do
You're
with...
kind of ambassador of the continuous improvement processes, aren't you?
Yeah,
like improving small things, but over time, continually.
So I think people have ideas. People know how to... generally, everyone knows what is going wrong and what has to be corrected. So the thing is, when you start to implement this change, there's always going to be a, you're pushing people out of comfort zone, and there's going to be a resistance. So that's the moment of truth for me. If you are persistent and take it through that, then after some time, there is, okay, this is the way we have to do it. And there's an acceptance of this change. Once there is an acceptance of change, you go out of this comfort zone, then you try to learn. And then you start to enjoy the benefits of that. And the process starts. So it doesn't stop there. And again, you are in a new comfort zone, which is better, more challenging than the previous one. And then that becomes your status quo. Then you push again. You go to the next one. So it's a continuous process.
It sounds to me like you're describing the kind of growth mindset culture or growth culture, that people are kind of open to the growth, but taking small steps.
Yes.
So understanding, okay, I accomplished one stage, and now my comfort zone is a bit bigger. So I dare to do something new. Is it what characterizes Lumel?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's always difficult the first time. First time it puts a lot of effort and courage also for the people to get out of that. Once they come out of that, they have done this successfully last time. Second time, they know it. And now you talk about the new things. And now it's also very interesting to see that it's not that it's only me who is driving it. People who are in the comfort zone also come with, okay, I want to take this, I want to do this, and you go to the next step. So because you tried something, you have been successful, you enjoyed it, and it was not as difficult as you thought before, so you want to do it again. So it can be kind of a good addiction also to do that. I remember early in my career, I was thinking that, I didn't change too many jobs, but I used to think that every 3 months, if I have to write a CV, I should have something new to write in that. So I always was pushing to do something new every quarter, every 3 months, and I try to do that till now after 30 years. So and I try to push that into the team that I work with.
You yourself are a big kind of learner, yeah?
Yeah.
What was the most challenging, difficult transformational process in that last 10 years that gave the company the greatest impact, the greatest effect?
As I said, it's more like a mindset, belief, that we can take difficult task and do that. So there have been few instances. I can give you some examples. There's one product which we call as analog panel meters, which has got, Rishabh in India also manufacture the same thing. Lumel also started with this product. But this product has got so many manual operations. The cost of manufacturing of that in Poland, right from the zero to wherever it was much bigger than the price at which this product is being sold, because there are a lot of products from China, from India, and from Southeast Asia, a lot of places. So nobody was manufacturing. So that was one of the main product which we were making. So I had an idea to keep the brand, also get some of the activities done back in India, and get the product and do the final half of the production here, and then keep the quality, keep the brand, everything, and make this composition of some cost benefit and also branding, and to do that. So people felt that we are going to close down this and shift it. That was obviously you have got trust issues. So, all this transformation, whatever we did, I never had a need to make any layoffs or anything. We never did that in 10 years. When I came also, the quick way of making the company profitable was to, close down some sections and lay off. But I strongly believe in people working in a company for lifetime development, etc. So that assurance was given that nobody is going to lose the job, and we're going to do it better. Today, if you look at that, our brand is strong. We have this, half of it is done here. All the people have the jobs, and we added more people, and we are very competitive in the market. And this is a product which we really do very well. So there have been a lot of instances where...
That's a very, very good example. And actually, you're touching on a topic that I want to ask you. Mm-hmm. Last year, you've been appointed the global CEO of Rishabh Group of Companies. That's a very responsible job. Probably you're going to tell us more about it. But it also made Lumel truly global company right now, isn't it? You're part of the global group. How did it change the positioning of Lumel companies in Poland? And what makes Lumel companies so competitive on this quite competitive market?
Yeah. See, to give you a perspective of how our companies are scattered and what we are. So we are, you can say globally, we are a mid-sized company. So Lumel has got two companies, Lumel aluminum die casting and electronics manufacturing. In the group, it is these two companies together is more than 50% of our turnover. So it's a substantial part of our business. So it's very important part of our business. And now we have these, companies in India and in China, in USA, UK, and a couple of them in Poland. So except for this aluminum die casting, one company in Poland, rest of them are somehow connected with the same theme of providing, global energy solution systems. So my next challenge or the role is to get synergy between these companies. Yeah. So synergy in terms of R&D, coming up with the products which are more global, and every culture has its own kind of DNA when it comes to product development. We have got two R&D teams in India, one in Mumbai and one in Nashik. We have one R&D team in China. We have a couple of R&D teams in Poland. So I want to get this, all this different perspective, different things that they bring onto the table to develop products which are more global and also local. So this is something which we can do.
This is a very interesting process. You're now mentioning generating synergies. At the same time, I understand keeping the local perspective on the products. How is this process going and evolving? Can you share how have you approached such, I'm not sure, is that a kind of integration or rather is a separation and maybe working on some issues together?
So what we want to, technology helps in such things. So you work on a platform where you have got, we have SAP globally integrated. So you have got a platform where you can open a project. So on an individual project, there can be team members from different locations, different places. So all these teams will be intact in their locations, but virtually they are connected. They work on a product development. So they debate, discuss, and come up with that. So one company may be driving a product, like for example, Lumel SA is driving one global product. So they will have team members from China, from India, and they work together, get all the ideas from different markets and do a base product which may be 80-90% global. And then the last 10 bit, like we want to sell it in USA or UK. So we've got mod centers there. They change the last bit and they can cater to the markets much better what their customers need.
So you're maximizing this global approach and global presence.
Yeah, we can do it with sales organization. We do it with marketing approach. We do it with IT. We do it with purchases, and so China can take a bigger lead in component purchases.
How are you addressing the cultural differences in such a global organization with so many cultures? Is it a part of the process? Do you have any issues with people located in different time zones, different cultures?
Yeah. So, one of the advantages that I personally had was to work with different cultures from China to USA. So, I would say 80-90% of it is common. It's only the 5-10% which makes the difference. People feel that it's big differences between the cultures. When it comes to business culture, it's I would say 80-90% is same. That 10-15% you can bridge with better people-to-people contacts. We encourage people traveling from one company to another company, spending time, look at their perspective, work with them. Then you understand that we can have lots of email communication, calls, etc. But physically you go, sit with them, work with them, eat with them, and travel to some places together. It's totally different.
You're still
dynamics.
Doing that right now after COVID-19. Many companies decided to stop travels because of this online communication. What I hear, you are still encouraging people to go and meet face to face.
It's always a different dynamics. I mean, we are talking here face to face. It's totally different from having a virtual meeting. I mean, I think you can't replace face to face meetings. So until you develop some rapport and this is built, then it helps to have better understanding and communication with the electronic media later. But some physical communications are really, really important still. I don't think that will ever go away. That's a human part of it. So with all the advancement in technology, that human communication will remain as it was all the time.
So happy to hear that. I want to ask you one thing. I read, I think in one of your statements, that at Lumel, each employee is included in activities of concern for the environment. Can you tell us more? How do you see that? What does it actually mean that every single employee is engaged in such activities concerning environment? And what is the environment part of your strategy?
Yeah, I mean, environment is more of a culture that you want to imbibe right from building your strategy. So when we talk about environment, we talk about what you do to have less carbon footprints. So you do a lot of things on a strategic level to change things in your organization, right from the way you design your products, whether they are environmental friendly, the way you design your packaging material, the way you put out your manufacturing facilities, the way you consume energy, all those things. And at a larger level, we have solar installations on both our plants. We have almost replaced all our machineries with more energy efficient machineries. all those things we do on one side. On the other side, we also engage people who are not involved in making those decisions and implementation. As a normal employee is to get involved into something like putting plants or having some. We do it every year, going to the forest, picking up all the trash from there. So this is to get awareness by employees, and they come with their families. So kids are involved. So it's more like a mindset and a cultural change that we want to bring in. So this also connects the employees together better. And we do this, sometimes when we have family picnics, family days in the company. Alongside of that, or we do it separately when the city is driving some plantations or something. We participate in those kind of activities, so that people get connected with those.
I get it. You're mentioning a lot about the importance of people mindset, people development, people engagement in the company. And it's very interesting because what I learned is that by education, you're an engineer, but you also did your MBA in human resources, isn't it? So you're combining these two pieces, these two elements. And I wonder, we are talking a lot about what humans can bring to the table. What do you think the Poles who work in Zielona Góra are bringing to the table in the whole group? Is there any specific of the Polish plant and Polish mindset and talent that you would distinguish?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot. Before, just a remark on that. You talked about my background. I never worked in HR department even for a single day, but I use every HR concept in everything that I do on daily basis.
Yeah.
So I keep on telling my operations managers many times that you have to be first HR manager, then operations manager, then things will work. So how you connect with people can, for me, a company is as good as the people in that company at that point of time. You can see companies doing extremely good in some period, and the same company is doing bad in spite of having the same set of customers, same set of technology, same set of equipment. So it's just because it's the people. Yeah. How engaged the people are in what they are doing, whether they are doing with passion or they're just coming there to work and go home. So that makes a big difference. So, and that can be done by everybody in the company who is in a position of leadership or in a position of influencing other people, brings in a lot of value. Coming back to the other point which you said about Poles, tremendous potential, I would say, tremendous potential, and quite hardworking. Many of them are, very honest, will tell things which are good for the company, even though they are not things that that your boss want to hear, which I really appreciate. Many of them are like that. And there's a, we have to shift something from being a manufacturer for say West Europe, than creator of technology and all of that. There's a huge potential in Poles, and somehow historically many of the Polish companies, now it's changing and it's changing for the good. Many of the Polish companies have been more in warehousing, lots of warehousing because of the location. Obviously, it's an advantage. It should continue to. It should continue, and then a lot of manufacturing for German or French industries, the West European industries, because cost of manufacturing was obviously lower because of the lower cost of labor here, which is changing, which has changed substantially in the last few years. And so when that is changing, you have to move from being a manufacturer to a position of being an innovator, adding new technology, go more on automation. So that's where you bring in more value. So that's the step which we should be going. Our company, we are engaged in that. We're really proud of that. That we are not just manufacturers, but we hold a lot of technology, and we acquire technologies from other companies. We develop those further, and then bring in new products every year from our electronics business. And on the other side, even if we are manufacturers for high pressure aluminum die casting, we bring in new technology in manufacturing.
I get it.
So the tools that we make, and a lot of die casting technology we bring in. So we are really, really proud of that. And we have won a lot of innovation awards from Lubuski region for the products, for the processes. And we also won some UU project for our electronics business now for getting next set of smart energy meters. So
I get it.
yeah, and it's all done by Pulse here. So
innovation, technology,
Yeah.
and hard work. Is it what now you sit in a global position and you interact with investors a lot? What do investors value Lumen and the whole Rishabh group of companies for the most?
We try to be very honest with our investors. In fact, we want to be honest with every stakeholder that we work with. We tell investors that our fundamentals are very strong. We are a company which they should look at if they want to judge us on our performance for, on a span of 2 to 3 years, not quarter by quarter, month by month. So we are not that company which make decisions to just get the share prices up and create some wealth for somebody. We are a company which are driven by very strong value systems of innovation, of people development, high ethical standards we want to maintain. EHS is a part of our strategy. So those are the ways on which we develop. For us, the drivers of business are non-financial, and the results are financial. So sometimes the financial results may not be reflecting what you're doing for some company in some quarter, but over a period, they always come very strong. So this is what we generally drive, and we tell this very openly to our investors. In the past, we have had one investor, Global Environmental Fund, and they were with us for 10 years. And they had good wealth creation after 10 years when we listed our company in Mumbai Stock Exchange. And we have new investors in, of course, our promoter is a strong believer in what I believe. And that's why this marriage is going very well. And we go in the same direction.
It's a very unique philosophy of doing business, I must admit. Let me echo one more time what you've said. The drivers are non-financial, but the results are financial. Can you elaborate more? What do you mean by the drivers of growth are not financial?
So you can drive parameters like quality. You can drive parameters like on-time delivery. You can drive parameters like efficiency in the company. So you do all of them, and they all result into financial results. So not that you do that. So it's like you drive innovation speed. You drive how many products you want to add. So if I have a target of setting 12 new products in a year, global level, so that will deliver results not in this year, but next or next year. So you keep on doing that. Of course, we have to create budgets, we have to create financials, all that we do it. It's not that we don't have any strategy or projection, but when we build a strategy, we vaguely have, okay, this is what we want to grow. But when you are doing business on a daily basis or on a weekly basis, you are driving something else. So end of the month, accountants will count what we did, good or bad. So that's how it should be, in my opinion.
Thank you, and it works well, as you mentioned,
over
in terms of the
period,
business of a long-term growth of the company.
Absolutely.
Dinesh, let me talk a little about the leadership and your approach to leadership. Earlier in the conversation, you mentioned that be a human resource person first, and then the operation manager second. What has shaped your leadership approach? Your earlier experiences, maybe your background, your uprising. What has the most significant impact on who you are as a leader and as a person?
I think a lot of things start in your primitive age, which shapes you. And that's why I'm a strong advocate of good education. So a lot of things happen in that primitive age. So I was lucky to have some very influential people in my life, which I learned. And the most impact was from the people at my early age. It starts with my dad. He was caring dad, but also very strict dad, and he taught me a lot of things about about being disciplined, punctual, and being very honest, and being persistent. All those things. So those were the hard values which I carry all the time. And then I remember two teachers in the school, and what I learned from them was not from the academics. They did something apart from the academics. One was a mathematics teacher. His way of teaching was so different. His name is, I still remember, Mr. Goody. It was long time ago, about, I was in fifth grade or something. And he used to engage us with, taking outside with the kids on the moonlight dinner and socializing, talking, sharing experiences, all of that.
You're talking about a teacher of mathematics.
Yeah, doing these things. And then there's another teacher, his name is Suresh Kulkarni. He's still there. He's doing a lot of work on the philanthropic side. So he was a science teacher, but he was a great artist, and he used to take us to meet some celebrities and interact with them. And he used to teach us about how honesty and those things and challenging people is important, because we don't challenge, we don't ask right questions. We try to answer the question that people ask. So that's something which I remember of him. And there was one teacher who helped us to have this compassion. So she used to take us to some orphanages to spend time with the kids. We're small kids. We didn't know what we were doing, but I know, like, looking back, all of that shape you what you are, to have that connect with the people, spending time with them. And these kids used to look forward for us every week, and you share some food, your toys, and you spend time with them. This was not part of curriculum, but we used to do. And there was a science club, and there was a drawing club. All those things were there. So a lot of things have shape you up, and as you grow, I learned from a lot of people, from my bosses, from my colleagues. You can learn from anybody a lot of things, and continuously keep on learning. And coming back to leadership styles, which you also asked in this question. So I'm a strong believer in situational leadership. There's no one fixed leadership style. Yeah. You need to adapt to what your team or your subordinates need. So there could be people who are quite matured, and you just delegate, and you have a very rational kind of interaction with them. There could be people where you need more support, more interaction, some people need more technical support in terms of training. Some people need more emotional support in terms of engaging. So everybody has a different need, and if you sense that and you get that pulse, then the equation becomes much better with each one of them, and then you create that team and you go in that direction.
Thank you for sharing these beautiful stories and importance of having such amazing teachers in our life, and mentors, and learn along the way. I have one big question I'm asking everyone in this show. This show is about impact leaders. So leaders who are redefining definition of success. So my question to everyone is what makes your life compelling? What gives purpose to your life?
What really makes me happy is when I'm able to make some positive change to somebody's life. So that really makes me more happy and successful. It's not about titles. It's not about what you achieve in other things, because everything comes to an end. But I feel happy when I develop somebody who's who is just an engineer and I see him growing, and you guide him to develop a career. I've helped people. Of course, they have to be good, and they have put a lot of efforts in that. Maybe about 8 to 10 entrepreneurs. So some of them were our employees back in India or here. So I helped them to. They didn't know that they had a potential to be good entrepreneurs and drive it. You give them some platform and push and give them some tools, and they have been very successful. They are running companies with dozens of employees and very happy, and so that gives me a pleasure. So it's how many leaders you create, and who
Beautiful.
also have to keep on creating the leaders. That's something which I think is a measure of your success, and how much of positive impact you bring in the lives of people who you are associated with.
That's a very beautiful, mission. Dinesh, I want to ask about your global perspective again. Now that you sit in so many different regions, what do you think the most pressing challenges or concerns of businesses globally are right now?
Yeah. So
or business leaders, to be more specific.
Yeah. I think one of the things which has been pressing is uncertainty. So if you look at last 4 or 5 years, things which have happened were not even thought of that they would happen maybe a couple of years ago. We never thought of having something like COVID any time before. And then we have had, there was a global village, and all this thing was coming as the businesses and countries were connecting, and that was going in a global way. And that, in a way, is dismantled. COVID, it started with COVID. After that, there was a huge interruption of supply chain, which was a second big event. Nobody anticipated that. Then having war, a couple of them in 21st century is something which nobody anticipated to have. So things which are happening now every year are something which is not kind of thought of 4 or 5 years ago. So we have been working in a more stable business traditionally. Now that stability is a question mark. So the changes are too drastic, too often. So you have to have new set of skills to adapt to that. So how flexible you are, how resilient you are, how adaptable you are. These are the things which are going to define or separate companies which are going to be in future than in the past. The pace of technology is very huge. ESG challenges are huge. Then we have all these geopolitical things going on. So many things which are going, and they are so unpredictable. So to be ready for unexpected, you have to be ready. It's really challenging. You have to be prepared for something which you don't know what is going to come next. So all that you can do is have a frame of mind or mental ability to challenge or to face whatever is coming next. And you don't know what is coming next. So you have to be ready for that. That preparedness of mind is most important.
Can you tell more about it? You define that, the kind of the cure for this unstable world. Some call it the VUCA world, that it's so volatile and ambiguous and uncertain and complex, for companies to become more flexible, adaptable, and resilient. Can you share about your personal practices that help you to build this state of mind and maybe even the physical and emotional preparedness for uncertainty? How do you personally, as a leader, as a human being, build this muscle of resilience?
So I am a person who believe in serenity prayer. So I accept things which I cannot change, because there's no point in trying to change something which you cannot change. And then I try to change everything that is in my capacity to change. I don't leave any stone unturned. And then you need to have a wisdom to differentiate between the two. If you are trying to change something which is not just possible to change, you are creating more frustration and trouble for yourself. And if there are things which you can change but you don't do it, so when you don't do it, you are really creating again problems for you. But the most important thing is to differentiate. You need to have a wisdom to differentiate between these two. I really absolutely love this serenity prayer, and I try to do that. And apart from that, I try to practice few things. I try to practice patience. I try to practice detachment, because if you have to follow this, you need to have these tools to do that. And more on a operation level, you have to be ready that you should be able to train your people quickly enough, so that when the changes come in place, so they are more prepared. So again, the frame of mind should be there for the people that we are in a world of uncertainty. A lot of things change, a lot of disruptions happening in technology and other geopolitical things, and we should be ready, and we should be faster than our competition. I talk about this story also to sometimes I tell this story to my colleagues. When they were two guys in the forest. And they are lost, and they see tiger coming towards them, and one guy starts tying his shoes and preparing to run. The other guy says, "Do you think that you're going to run faster than that tiger?" He says, "No, I just have to run faster than you." So
that's the definition of being ready for compete in this.
So you have to be,
world.
because those challenges are going to be for everybody. So the company which is tied their shoes and ready to run faster than your competition, we don't want the competition to die, of course, but it's sometimes it's a survival, and tying shoes is being ready for those change, and you don't know which is the tiger or which animal is going to attack you next. So,
thank you. It is a very inspiring lesson, especially when you're talking about patience, detachment, compassion, prayer. This is maybe not a common business talk. Like, people sometimes feel especially people in power, people in position, sometimes we don't have the tools to address these very complex issues that are around us these days. And do you have a community, a circle, people you can talk about it?
I talk this with friends or people who have kind of a similar philosophy or thought, and you exchange some views. Everybody needs that kind of a support system. You talk to people, and when you have such situations, and they also talk to you when you have that, and you share experience, and it supports.
Thank you so much. My last question will be about, let me call it, the kind of heritage you want to build as the CEO of the Lumel companies, but also Rishabh group of companies. What are the things you would like to be remembered for as the leader of the organization?
Yeah, I want Lumel or Rishabh to be remembered as a company which was driven by high ethics, and company which made a contribution to the industry and the society. I mean, not just by mere numbers and wherever we go.
That's beautiful.
That's what
and
should
you
be
personally,
remembered for. Yes.
What do you want people to
as I said before, that I want people to remember as somebody who made some positive impact on their life, and of course many people have made positive impact on my life also. It's just what you gain, you give back. So that's how I would like to be remembered as, more than anything else.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. That's why this show is The Impact. Leaders redefining definition of success. Thank you so much for this beautiful conversation.
Thank you very much. I really enjoyed it.